I'm your baby, and I'm gonna stay with you. Yeah, call me crazy, but I still love you. Still love you. Even all the dysfunctional things you do. That shit, like even.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Me Before We. I am King Mason, and today's topic is single parent dating. I've been wanting to do this show for a long time, just to ask some real deep questions about the single parents out here, and is it hard dating with children? Let's just dive right in. My guest right here is Ronnie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, I'm fine. And we have Mr. Nate. How you doing, sir?
I'm wonderful, brother.
Okay, let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, tell me what a single parent is. What is a single parent?
People always have a difference of opinion. I think the fact that I live with my children are primarily in my care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a single mother.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that I don't receive help from outside sources, but in my home, it is me and my children.
So would you consider the father who doesn't have the children most of the time, is he a single parent also, or he just a parent to where the kids are with their mother?
Probably the second. Doesn't sound very good because a lot of times, unfortunately, we don't know how much of a role the other parent plays in their life.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, am I a single parent because you chose not to be here? Am I a single parent because you left?
Mm-hmm.
Am I a single parent because we just didn't work out? But I think that if the father is playing an equal part in being a part of their children's life, then I think that's a single parent.
Okay, and I want to just chime right in right here. It is not all black men that have left. There is some black men with their kids too.
Yes.
I'm pro man, okay? Okay, Nate, this question is for you. Can you be a parent and only see your child on the weekend?
I would imagine you could. I'm personally not a single parent, not even a parent, but I would imagine that you can be a parent if you only see your children on the weekends. I think it just depends on the specific situation that you're dealing with.
Okay. I'm a researcher, so I talk to a lot of women and a lot of men too. And they say the person who has the child the majority of the time, the person that gets them on the weekend is really just making the kid happy, just seeing them on their happy days. Seeing them, oh, I'm going to my daddy's house or going to my mom's and we're going to the movies. And because during the week, you don't have to deal with homework. You don't have to deal with the sickness. You don't have to deal with getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, the throw-ups. You don't have to deal with, Mama, I want this, and the daddy, I need this. So I'm just trying to really just get into this whole parent thing before we get into the dating. Like, can you call yourself a parent and only see your child this amount of time?
I haven't looked up the definition of parent in a dictionary lately, but based on what I know, a parent is someone who has created a human being.
Really?
And they tend to that human being.
Okay.
I mean, well, even if they don't tend, I still think they're a parent, but that's a whole other story. I just think that every situation is different. I can't say that a parent who only sees his child on the weekend is not a parent. I mean, I think it's all about how that specific family unit is set up. If they're set up in a way where that's how it works, you know, just having seen a lot of other couples and parenting and how they do it, I personally couldn't imagine not seeing my kids every day. That's just me. I don't have any kids yet, but I've witnessed how kids can be affected by not seeing their parents on the regular. So I just
Ronnie, let me ask this question: when is the right time to introduce your child to a person that you're dating, a person that, not saying that you are just seeing, but you really are interested in?
I found that if it's somebody that I'm dating that has children as well, I am more lax because they understand. You understand? We have those same sense of we're guarded about our children and who we let into our children's lives. I don't really think that there's a time frame. I wouldn't put a time frame. I think that it depends on the relationship and where you guys are going. And if you see something in that person and they see something in you, I don't see why not, but I wouldn't just bring anybody around my children.
I understand that. So when is a good time to tell the person you have a child?
In the beginning.
Right off.
From the jump. Like, we are a package deal.
Okay.
If you cannot take the package deal, then let's not waste time.
So, Native, since you don't have any kids, when would you want a woman to tell you, hey, I have a kid?
I mean, that's, like she said, that's one of those questions that pretty much, if I'm in my conversations with women that I've been interested in, that's one of the first questions out there. I mean, do you have a family? Do you have kids? What's your status?
Okay.
That pretty much comes out right away.
All right, this is Me Before We. I'm King Mason. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Yeah, call me crazy, but I still love you.
Hi, thank you for staying with us. I'm King Mason, and this is Me Before We, and we are talking about single parent dating today. My guests, Camelia and Miss Courtney. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So, is it hard dating when the other parent is involved in the child's life? Let me say this. So you would date a man. Is it hard dating a man with a child when the baby mom or the child's mother is really involved? Like she's at the PTA meeting, she's picking the child up from school, she's everywhere.
I'd say, in my experience, no. I actually would prefer that if I'm dating someone who has children, the mother of his children, I want her to be involved in his life because I want to see what their interactions are like. I want to see what the dynamics there are. Because ultimately, I feel like I'm dating him, so potentially this is someone who I could have kids with, and I want to see how he interacts with the mother of his current children to make sure that's a healthy relationship before I move any further in that relationship. So I'd say I would prefer that rather than them just being completely shut out from each other's lives. I don't think that's very realistic.
Courtney, what is the right way to introduce your child to the person that you're interested in?
Honestly, that's something that I've not been able to master because I'm very sensitive about, my child and how he's approached because some guys feel that I'm looking for a father for him, and that's not the case. I'd rather not do it early. I want to get to know the person I'm dating and even decide if I want you in my life before I put you in my child's life. So I would say once the talks become serious, then before I can consider you serious, I need to see how you interact with my child.
Right. So say the talks are serious. Say this is something you want to move forward to. You guys are going to be exclusive. How would you bring him into your child's life? How would you do that?
It would just be a day-to-day. It could be any day of the week. You need to see what the life is like of a parent. It could be Monday morning, getting him ready for school. This is what it's like, seeing him cranky and I want to get out of bed. It could be picking him up after school and dealing with the homework. Just any day.
Okay. So, Miss Camelia, what if the child does not like or approve you? Or does not like or approve just because you there with their daddy and it's not mama? How would you deal with that situation? The child just don't like you at all.
That's a hard question. I don't know. I mean, I'm not this. Listen, his child is going to be there, and we're either going to have to figure out something, work through whatever that hurdle is that's creating that. And most times, I would imagine it's just because I'm not the child's mother, right? And so there's always going to be some natural animosity there. And if we can't get past that, then we just can't get past that. But I think it's important that if I'm going to be with somebody who has kids, that we have a healthy relationship, both he and I and myself and his children. And if we can't make that work, then I don't necessarily see that becoming a healthy relationship long term. And I think that if you don't address it immediately, it's just going to fester and become something that's going to get worse and worse. The child's going to get older. They're going to wage more and more influence over their father. It's going to become a tense situation, and I just don't want to set myself up for that kind of failure.
Okay. Same question to you, Courtney. What if your child does not like or approve the person that you really, really have fallen for, and you think that you could have a future with them?
I'm 50-50 with that. For one reason, children have a sixth sense, and they can tend to sense someone's character quicker than an adult. So I would definitely take heed to why my child is acting a certain way around this person. Now, if it's just because, you're not my father, then we go to the other percent. He's not going to harm you. He's going to be a role model in your life. At the end of the day, 18, you're out of my house. So if I'm happy, you're safe, you're being provided for, I can't really focus on if you like him or not. Not every child likes their real parents.
That's true. That is true. So, last question. Do children really have their parents' best interest at heart? Meaning, like, they could hate the person that the parent is, that really makes them happy. Do you think that children really want to see mom happy or really want to see dad happy because of divorce or because they're not together?
I think it depends on the child, and I think that it differs child from child. And I've seen situations where, especially as a woman without kids, of dating men in a few instances who had children and daughters specifically, and I found that to be kind of interesting, that daughters
tended to have their dad's best interest in mind. Like they tended to be sort of take on that care, and in this case in particular, he will probably see this. He is the sole provider for 3 daughters, all girls, and they are caregivers for him.
I'm going to cut you off there. We'll be right back. This is Me Before We. I'm King Mason.
Yeah, call me crazy, but I still love you. Still love you.
Hey, and we're back to Me Before We. I'm King Mason, and we're just going to pick right back up where we left off at. Miss Camelia was talking about a family that she was involved with. Tell us more about that.
Well, so it's a gentleman who has 3 young daughters, and they have there's 2 from one mom and 1 from another mom, and they're all under the age of 8. So, but I do feel like they have, at least 2 of them, as I've watched them interact, his best interest at heart. They have taken over, strangely enough, almost like a caregiving role for him. So they check on him, they'll come and ask, like, did you eat today? Things like that. And I think that it could just be sort of an overcompensation for the fact that their mom isn't there with them every day. But I think in that particular scenario, the kids definitely have his best interest at heart. But I can't say that's the case for every family and for every child.
Okay. And now we have Ronnie. How you doing?
Okay.
And we have Mr. Nate joining us. So let me get you the same question, Ronnie. Do you think children have their parents' best intentions at heart when they're dating? Because I know some kids get into the whining phase. They get into, I don't know him and I don't know her and stuff like that. What do you think?
I think it's an age thing as well. And I mean, every kid is going to be different. Some kids want their parents to date and may want their mommy to have a boyfriend or want their daddy to have a girlfriend because they may see how it affects them not having one. So I think it's different. I think every kid is probably going to be different.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's ask this question. Coming to Mr. Nate. Are single parents looking for replacement parents, or are they really out here trying to regularly date?
You should ask me that question.
Honestly, I'm sure there are individuals that are like that are looking for replacement parents. I'm sure it exists. In my experience, my personal experiences have been positive in the sense where it was truly about us wanting to get to know each other, and she just happened to have a child. And so it wasn't that. I didn't feel like it was that. I didn't feel like she was searching for a replacement of any kind. It was more so she just wanted to be able to date like normal people do. And she just happened to meet me. So.
Okay. In my research, I have met some women, and I don't meet men, so that really want that replacement parent there, that is looking for that help. They don't want to get to know you. They want you to just come right in and just start picking up the tasks that are not going. How do you feel about that? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Ronnie. Yes.
Okay. Speaking from the perspective of a woman whose kid's father is not in their life that much. She's doing better now, but he was not in their life in the beginning. The fact that you were dating a woman with children, and if you were thinking about being with her long term, you already need to be thinking about whether or not you can be a father to those children. Whether or not I'm looking for one for my children or not, if you are dating me and I have children, can you be a father to my children? They have their daddy. Always going to have their daddy. But if you are dating me, we are a package. I'm not going to accept you in my life if I can't see you as being a father to my children. Because if we live in a household, you're going to spend more time with my children than their own father is.
Wow, that's...
Fully agree.
I'm going to come back to that later on.
There's no way to go into that.
I know, right?
She said it.
Okay, this question. I'm going to ask this question to Miss Courtney. Is it harder dating a single parent with multiple kids and multiple parents? Meaning that I have 3 kids, but I have 3 baby daddies too, and 3 baby mamas. I have 4 kids and 3 baby daddies. Is it hard being...
I'm going to say it's easy because it's a no right off top.
No game.
Definitely aren't the wisest decision maker.
Okay, let me go, Miss Camelia. So if you had a guy who had let's say he had 5 kids and 3 baby mamas.
I'll just say this, and again, this person may watch this, and I'm sorry, but I've dated guys who had 1 kid, and at my age, that's normal. I'm in my early 30s. Men have children at this age. I understand that. So 1 kid. You got a kind of relationship, you're working it out with your baby mama, that's cool. When you have multiple children with multiple babies' mothers, I tried it and I can't. It's too much confusion. And just like Courtney says, I feel like it speaks very much to the way that you choose not only your partners, but your decision-making skills. And in this particular instance, he has sole custody of all his children. So it calls into question, who are the people that you were dating before you dated me? And that's just,
no.
I'm going to have to just walk on by.
So that answer is hashtag no.
I was like, no.
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm going to give this question to Ronnie. It's a threefold question. I'll hit it with everybody. Should single parents even date?
Yes,
Why?
because we're human and we're adults and we need adult interaction. I don't think that we were meant to be on earth to be alone, even if it doesn't work. I think that we need that stimulation.
Okay. Should single parents date?
Yes.
They should.
And my reason why, because in a perfect world, you would still be married to the other parent. So as a spouse, you should never stop dating your spouse, your significant other. So if you're separate, and she was saying as an adult, I need adult interactions.
Okay.
I can't date my child. That's some Arkansas type of.
Now, in my research, again, I've talked to some older generation parents. You know what I'm saying, like some grandparents that are now grandparents, and they say that you shouldn't. You should give all your time to your kids.
That's a backwards mentality. That's a backwards mentality, and I'm gonna tell you something that's dangerous because I know women personally who have children who have taken that approach, and especially when they have sons, you're putting yourself in a very dangerous situation. You've now set yourself up not only to not have male companionship, and you're assuming all sorts of stuff, which in many cases single women have to do. We just have to do because we got to be mama, you got to be daddy, you got to do everything. But if you have a choice in the matter, why choose to not allow a male role model into your son's life? Like, why would you make that? I think that's dangerous.
May I just say something real quick? That kind of goes to, you didn't ask me this question about whether children have their parents'
Best interest.
best interest at heart. I think that in a couple situations that I've been in, the children did, in a sense, where they wanted their mother to have someone in their life, and they wanted someone for themselves too. It wasn't just, because kids say the darndest things, and they had to deal with questions in schools like, hey, where's your dad? Or, do you have a dad? Or where is he? Right. And they hear that resonates in their head. So they want, not only do they want somebody for their mom, they want someone for themselves too. So.
Okay. Well, listen, I thank everybody for coming out. We have Miss Camelia, Miss Courtney, Miss Ronnie, Mr. Nate. And this is me before we were talking about single parent dating. King Mason, hit the website, thekingmason.com. Talk to you later.
Crazy, but I still love you. Still love you. Even all the dysfunctional things you do. Like even when you're wrong and won't admit the truth. But you can call me crazy, cause I'm your baby, and I'm gonna stay with you.